how to attract more customers to your business. Guys, there's never been an easier time in history to get people to your business, and it's never been easier to actually access most of the world largely for free or very cheap using some of these strategies, pandemic or not, psychoeconomic times or not. These methods work very, very well. Let's dive in. I'm a huge fan of this guy. His name's P.T. Barnum. He was alive in the 1800s. In the 1800s, there was a guy who found this mermaid off the coast of Fiji. And P.T. Barnum was a museum owner. He owned this museum, and he thought, what if I was to use that mermaid to get sales to my museum? And so he reached on out and he got the mermaid. People brought it to him. He got the mermaid. And what he did is he started using this mermaid to get a lot of sales to his museum. I'm going to tell you about it. So this is one of my favorite stories ever. P.T. Barnum uses this mermaid to get sales to a museum during a time when there was no internet. So put on your marketing eyes, your marketing hat, and watch this through the eyes of a marketer because it's freaking brilliant. So what he did is he had this mermaid, and he got this naturalist. He's like, naturalist, come over here. Please declare the fact that this is a real mermaid. And that naturalist is like, that it looks like the top of a monkey sewed to the bottom of a fish. And he's like, you're fired, get out of here. And he gets the next naturalist, says the same thing. He's like, you're fired, get out of here. Until he gets less and less experienced naturalists, and one person says, oh my gosh, that's a real mermaid. And he goes, oh, let's go, let's run for it. Caveat, FTC was not a thing back then, so don't do this, you're gonna get caught, all right? But just listen to the marketing principle because it's one of my favorite marketing stories. What he did is he grabbed one of his associates and they started leaking letters to the press around New York and Philadelphia about the fact that there was this mermaid caught off the coast of Fiji. So they started leaking all these letters, and they leaked these letters, and the press started going, oh my gosh, something's going on. You hearing about this mermaid, hearing about this mermaid? He then sent his associate, posing as a doctor, again, no FTC, don't do this. He sent his associate down to Philadelphia from New York and had him check into a very specific hotel. As he checked into this specific hotel, he said, Mr. Landlord, thank you for letting me stay in this amazing hotel. As a thank you, I want to show you the Fiji mermaid. He unveils the Fiji mermaid, and the guy's like, oh my gosh, can I call my friends in? He goes, sure. They knew he was friends with tons of editors. They sought him out. They literally pinpointed him. And guess what? All these editors come to this hotel in Philadelphia that this doctor is now showing the Fiji mermaid. What did they start doing? Writing about it. So now there's buzz in Philadelphia. What's P.T. Barnum doing back in New York? Well, back in New York, he goes and he starts littering, practically, 10,000 leaflets about this mermaid. By now, you might have heard about this Fiji mermaid. And I have this amazing museum. And this museum, at this specific date, for only 1 week, you get the chance to see this mermaid. Oh my gosh, public anticipation starts to climb like crazy. He's not done. What he does is he goes to all the newspapers and he says, I'm going to give you exclusive coverage to the unveiling of this mermaid. And they're like, sweet. And then he did it to every newspaper. He told all of them they have exclusive coverage. On the day of the unveiling, every newspaper showed up and all of them published about it because they didn't want to be the one newspaper that didn't. Now, please understand, yes, there was some fibbing he did along the way. Don't do that, all right? Be ethical, be moral. But he was also famous for doing this to the public. And he recorded that he would stand on the side and watch as the public would come in and see literally the top of a monkey sewed to the bottom of a fish posed as a mermaid. And people loved it. And it's one of the big stunts that he did that actually made him who he was. Is he did it toward the beginning of his career. Now let's break down that story because it's how you actually make a successful campaign and launch on the internet. Now, as that relates to attracting more customers to your business, I only bring that up because P.T. Barnum didn't have the internet. You know what I mean? Like, what's the access of the distribution today versus back then? And I actually contend that most marketers today are really, really lazy. All right, they're so lazy because distribution is so easy. You all can pick up your phone, which you're probably on right now or on your computer. How many have been on Facebook today? How many have been on Instagram? Something else. You can talk to the world in a freaking click. Look how much stuff that he had to go do just to get his product out the door, right? So how do I attract more people to my business? Never been easier, ever. Okay, the distribution problem has been solved and has been solved and solved and solved. It's fascinating how easy it is to talk to the world. What most people have is not a distribution problem. It's what I'm going to talk about next. But first of all, just understand, you got to write down your distribution access. Okay, so this is how I do this. Sit down after this video is over. Please press pause when the video is over. And I want you to start writing down what access to distribution you have already. How many people are on your Facebook groups? How many people on your Facebook profile? How many people follow you? What is all of the tally of your reach? Tallied up, okay? That is way more than some genius like P.T. Barnum ever had access to. Way more. So I was laughing when someone was like, how do I get more people to it? You don't have a distribution problem. You have, let's go to number 2, a messaging problem, okay? Because distribution is solved for you. The thing you have a hard time with and the thing that is really shooting yourself in the foot is the fact that your messaging is what's wrong. You have so much more reach than any of these other old school rich dead marketers ever had access to. That's not the reason your stuff isn't working. Why it's not working is because you have a messaging issue. I was working with a massive client of ours probably about 6 months ago, and I was face to face with him. We flew out over there and we're talking with him, and he had a similar question. He's like, how do I reach more people? Reach isn't the problem. I said, the issue is that you have a messaging problem, exactly as I just told you. So what we need to do is we need to help you come up with messaging that actually makes you interesting to follow. That's the problem. That's why no one finds you. And that's why you're looking up a video called, How Do I Attract More People to Me? It's because you have a messaging issue, all right? Not a list issue. That's super easy. I can post on Facebook and talk to thousands of people right now. Does that make sense? When it comes to creating messaging, you're not just writing a sales message for your product. Not just that. I want you to find a piece of noise that when people hear it, they're like, I want to hear more about that. For example, my shirt, I love this shirt, right? It says, money can't buy happiness, broke can't buy anything, right? I love that shirt because people are like, well, I'm not going to make, money can't make me happy. I'm like, yeah, you can't buy anything either, right? We all know money can't buy happiness. But that little phrase takes me and stamps my brand inside someone's head just a little bit. Does that make sense? That's the problem people have. You can access anywhere. So I like to find some kind of social issue to attach myself to, right? And be careful with it. Obviously, there's sensitivities and there's people who, might get offended. So be careful on what you choose. But I chose to fight the war of capitalism versus socialism. Get paid for the rewards, get rewards based on how much value you put out in the marketplace versus lots of handouts. And I'm very aggressive with it. And I love when someone tries to fight me about it, right? I love that. What it lets me do is it's a piece of messaging that takes me further than I could take myself based on my resources. For example, a lot of bigger influencers than me are talking about the capitalist pig thing I've done now. There's pictures of some of the biggest names in my industry wearing my shirt. You understand what I'm talking about? I don't care. We're not trying to make that much money with it. Of course, we're capitalists. We're going to try and make money with it. But gosh, that's not the reason why. The reason is because I have a piece of messaging to put into the distribution channels. That's what's taken me super far in the marketing world. That's also the issue and problem that other big companies have. They don't understand that it's not a reach problem. Because of the internet, the reach thing is over. It's about messaging. Easiest way to do that, make a social stance. All right, make a social stance. Not a political one, that's different. Make a social stance about something you truly believe in and watch the sales fly off the back of it. Another great way I like to create noise and fix my messaging problem, actually right now as I make this video with you guys, over my computer in the next room, I made a post talking about how I miss the toughness of society, right? That I feel like where's the dude inventing new ways to get offended daily? Like, where is that guy? He needs a hug or a backhand, right? I miss, you know what I'm saying? I miss the society that people are like, hey, I like being proud about being tough, about how much I can handle, how much I can conquer and win. I miss that, right? And that is a post that was very nerve-wracking for me to put out, and I had it up for a couple hours before choosing to put it out. But holy smokes, it's taken off, okay? And that is me attaching to something that's going on right now. And we'll get more sales off the back of it. That's not the only reason we do it, okay? But it is a benefit of doing so. And because people they don't know where you fit, you let them fit you. Does that make sense? Positioning is a fascinating thing, guys. If you don't take a stand on your position, they want to fit you into something so they could misfit you, right? If you don't tell people what you are, they will choose for you what you are. And because you're a company and you have reach in their eyes and you have a product and you have power in their eyes, if you don't take a stand on certain things, they will start to put you in places where you're like, wait, I don't stand there. It's never been easier with messaging and distribution to get as much people attracted to you as possible. Before I go into the fastest way to attract people, please subscribe. Hit the little bell. We put these videos out every day. If you like this kind of stuff, we do a lot of work to make sure it's quality content for you. Every morning, we're trying to put out a new video. Also in the comments, please, what's your favorite distribution method? right? Or I'd love to know, I love these old school rich dad marketer stories like P.T. Barnum. What's your favorite one? Rich dad marketer, someone who didn't have the internet around them but made themselves rich on their own. Love to know those stories. Put it down below. Fastest way to attract people to you, bar none, fastest way is to spend money. It's just, that's the reality. Remember this principle, please write it down somewhere. Money is faster than time. Money's faster than time. So I just gave you two kind of organic realities of the world we're living in now. You can talk really quick, distribution's easy. Messaging is actually really easy now too. This third way though, money. Create ways to spend money at break even. If that feels weird, let me explain that. So for example, we have a swag store. We have a swag store and we sell these shirts for like 10 bucks. I actually go in the hole when we sell them, just a couple bucks, but I go in the hole. And the reason we do that though, is that by the time somebody wants to purchase something else, on average, we are making $42 per sale. Does that make sense? Because there's some upsells, even though we lose money on the first part, overall, we make $42 per shirt sale, even though it's a $10 shirt, okay? What that lets me do is spend $42 to acquire a buyer at break even. How many other shirt sellers do you know can spend $42 to acquire a buyer? Not that many. In fact, I don't know of any, right? No one can really do that. That means I can squash everyone else. That's why it's so big. Money's faster than time. I can get my ads in front of more people than others can, and I can do it at break even. And because of that, it's one of the fastest ways for me to attract people to me. The power of this is so huge that if I can spend $50 to acquire a buyer, and you can spend $5, I will crush you on the internet, even if your product's better. I'm not here to argue the ethics of that. Make your product ethical and moral, be awesome with it, but understand the nature of the internet. If you can spend money to get in front of your competitors and you can spend a lot more, that's usually who wins. There's an adage that's very famous. I don't know if it's from Russell Brunson or someone else, but this is it. Whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer wins. That's it. So if you want to attract more people, find ways to spend money at break even. Really easy to get really loud in front of everyone else and frankly, beat out all your competition. I got a free gift here because you watched to the end. If you go to ofasignup.com, I've got some really cool funnel skills. It's a free 5-day mini course. It's free. Put your email in, and whether or not you choose to actually purchase for free for the next 5 days, you will get a little tiny mini course walking you through the skills you need to do exactly the stuff I was just teaching in this video. They're little tiny subsidiary skills. They're not very hard, but they're very important. You get them for free at ofasignup.com. If you're like, I don't want to type it in, totally get it. Link is in the description. Just click it.